Hello and welcome to Grumpy Gamers. You're here with me, Pete, and along with me I have Ben.
Hello.
Eddie.
Hello.
And Kirk.
Hello.
Did you say hello?
Did he say hello?
Do we have Kirk?
Hello.
I think it's Discord. I think
Did you not hear
Did
me?
he say hello? Yeah.
No,
I got
you
absolutely
always
nothing
cut
from
out.
you, Kirk.
I literally
Absolutely
went hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, you always cut out on Discord.
Fuck
it's
Discord,
just
He
man.
was through the worst timing, yeah.
It's just it's either a cutout or there's a train or there's something else going on.
He's a problem.
Yeah,
I am a problem.
unreliable.
Yeah.
Unreliable. Yeah. Anyway, did you realise, guys, this is our 75th episode?
Is it? I didn't realise that. That's quite a shift, isn't it?
It is, yeah. I mean, I'm concerned, Ben, because it's literally in the title of the document. But
I'm not scrolled there. I'm scrolled way down.
oh, right.
Are we going to do something special for our 100th?
I mean, I think we should, but we've got like 4 months until that. More than that, surely 6 months.
It sounds close, but it's really not.
You know. It's quite a while
exactly
off. Yeah.
that. But either way, 75 episodes of us talking.
I know, and people actually listen to us.
I know, I'm as terrified by that as you are, don't worry. But they do listen to us for, obviously, our standardised format of the news, and then the new releases, and a bit of what we've been playing, which this week we have Ghostwire Tokyo.
We do.
And I believe
completed as well.
Yeah, you finished it, haven't you?
You completed a game,
it's
Ben.
all done. Kirk, I play a lot of games and I complete a lot of games.
I know, that
What
was a
did you do?
confusing comment. I'm just going
That was really weird. What do you...
I don't really know what I meant by that, to be honest with you. Don't worry about it.
If it was at me, that's fair enough, but...
I thought you're coming at me out of the gate straight away.
Yeah.
What's going on here?
Yeah.
I was surprised he'd done it in less than a week, not that he'd actually done it. Like, that's the difference there.
I mean, he
I
did complete
did.
Elden Ring in, 2 or 3 weeks? It's only like
2.5.
about 80 hours into it. Don't worry about it.
I'd rather say it was days. It was like 10 days.
Jesus.
10 full-time work shifts of Elden Ring. That is what Ben did.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Great.
And anyway, and our feature this week is, it's an experiment, isn't it, guys? It's quite a literal experiment. Yeah, we're going to do something that we've entitled Frankenstein's Monster. And it's something we've wanted to do for a while, but it could go really well or it could go spectacularly badly. So
Just like
tune
Frankenstein.
in to check that out. yes, that's where the name came from, Kirk. Yeah.
Just making sure. You know, I'm basic. I'm basic. You know us.
At least you admit that. My God. With that ruined, I suppose I should hand over to you for your news as well.
You should, because I've actually got a great announcement for us. And so a couple of weeks ago, we teased on the old Twitter something like a cryptic message. One person did actually get it, but we are going to actually be on a live show. We're going to be live
Hang on,
for
are you
the
not
first
going
time.
to guess who got it right?
I mean, not sure he's a... yeah. All right, at Mr. Tushy.
Surely the whole thing of that competition is to announce who've won it. Surely, am I?
It's not really a competition. Nobody wins anything.
Nobody wins
other
anything. No, Eddie, and also not everybody that actually interacts with us actually listens to us. So he might not even hear that.
Oh.
But this is the thing. This is how Twitter works. But anyway, back to the news, the announcement. We're going to be live on the 6th of April. It's 6 p.m. GMT, and if we've got any American listeners, that is 12 p.m. ET, Eastern Time. We're going to be on Mr. Boomstick XL's show, which is Double Barrel Gaming on YouTube. So come and check us out. There's going to be a live chat, and we're going to be running through what's kind of hot in gaming that week, and he'll be going through some of our what we like about gaming and whatnot. So come
live show.
Live show. Fucking
Yeah.
live show.
I'm very worried about that.
Cameras
Everyone's going to see.
and everything.
Everyone's going to see Pete have a migraine.
Yeah, it's going to be fantastic. It's going to be great.
I'm more worried about you, Kirk, and the shit that you come up with live. That's what I'm worried about.
My God, not having a filter on Kirk will be...
No, I know.
No, hold on.
Editing
Okay.
Kirk.
No, I fucking fuck off. The thing I'm most worried about is that 90s decor that you've got sitting behind you in your desk, mate.
Oh yeah, Eddie, that's disgusting.
What is wrong with this wallpaper? This is
That
lovely
wallpaper is hideous.
I feel
really
like
like
everyone will
this
see it on the
wallpaper.
sixth. Let's move this one on.
Yeah, I also do want to point out, I really hope people on the East Coast check the time Kirk said there, because I'm pretty sure he's an hour off because the clock's changed this weekend.
He also didn't mention West Coast because apparently Kirk doesn't want West Coast people to listen in. Actually,
I've only gone based on what Boomstick put on his post. I literally read what he'd put. So
Yeah, but okay. In which
I mean,
case
he lives in New York, so
yes. In which case, it's probably our time that needs updating because he may not have accounted for the time difference change which happened this weekend.
well,
That's true because
We're not GMT anymore. We're British summertime, aren't we?
Exactly. Yeah.
Thank you for correcting me.
Jesus.
This is why we need to. Right, so basically, we're going to be on at 5 or 6. Who the fuck knows?
Yeah, it's going to be 5. It's
this is why we
PM.
can't do live shows.
Follow us on Twitter. You'll find out.
It's also going to be fantastic because that's when I'm still working. So that's an interesting.
And me. Don't worry about it.
Kirk. That's pretty pivotal.
Well, as you can tell, a live show is going to go really well for us.
Using GMT, a time zone which no one in the world is currently using.
Wow, fuck me sideways.
Oh dear. Well, and I suppose with that energy, we should move on to the actual news. My God. And this week, I'm actually going to start us off because I wanted to talk about Sony.
Okay.
Now, have any of you guys seen the big news about Sony coming up for this week?
Yes.
Well, this is our, like we like to do, like the news, the rumoured news.
The rumoured news, but it's
not quite news.
It's not
They're
quite
not
news,
quite
but
news.
yeah. Go on. What are they saying?
Well, the not quite news about Sony is that they're reportedly going to announce their Game Pass style PlayStation Plus overhaul this week. So
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, obviously there've been rumours about this and not quite news about this for a while, but we've got to a point now where the PlayStation Plus subscription overhaul, codenamed Spartacus, could be announced as early as next week. And this is according to Jason Schreier from Bloomberg, who first reported on this in December. So a lot of this not quite news coming from one source, it seems. But that's a good sign, I'm sure. It essentially claims that the new service is going to combine the company's two current PlayStation subscription offerings, which is Plus and Now, into a single package split across 3 different subscription tiers. So it seems like one of those, the first of those, is just going to be PlayStation Plus as it is today. Required to play online titles and providing a number of monthly games, and at no extra cost, obviously. And then there'll be a mid-tier option, which is going to have a downloadable game catalogue of around 300 titles in a similar vein to Game Pass, while their top tier is said to offer access to PS1, 2, 3, and PSP games, alongside extended demos and cloud streaming. So these are apparently known as Essential, Extra, and Premium, and would be priced... I don't know why I'm even going into the prices they're claiming, but it would be priced at $10, $13, and $16. Well, that part came from Jeff Grubb, so now we've got a second source coming in, you know.
Okay.
So there's more than one. There's more than one here.
That's good.
Yeah. So that's as much as we know at the moment, apart from someone commenting that it would be a splashy lineup of hit games that would be coming out with this.
Someone commenting. A third source has commented.
Yeah. So there's an awful lot of not quite news there and an awful lot of detail for not quite news. But how much of it's actually going to be real is an interesting thing to consider. I mean, we all know this is coming at some point, surely. This.
We do know it's coming. We've heard it for a while. No, what's it called? Spartacus? Is that the code name?
Spartacus.
So, like, I'm really intrigued but I'm ready to be disappointed.
Yeah.
So this could be amazing. The PlayStation have access to a back catalogue, a huge back catalogue they own so many older titles, PS1, 2, 3, PSP, like PS Vita, all these games, and they actually own a lot of that IP. They own a lot of the soundtracks and all this kind of stuff, so they can actually make this stuff available. And PS Now is not a bad offering. I mean, a lot of people were turned off it early when it was just streaming only, but now PS Now, a lot of it is downloadable as well. So combining it all and rebranding it does make perfect sense. What we're rumoured to not be getting at all would be the day-and-date releases of Sony's big titles. So God of War, Ragnarok, etc. will not come on day one to this service. And that is the big differentiator in my mind between that and Game Pass.
Yeah, and it is a huge difference, isn't it? I mean, the key thing with Game Pass for me is the new releases as much as anything else. It's having brand new games on there.
I mean, the thing is, assuming that this is true, the extended demos section is what fascinates me the most, more than anything, because I remember the days when we used to get like official PlayStation magazine or Xbox magazine, there'd be like a demo disc in there, wouldn't there? And that would be like your extended demo of a game. And demos don't seem to really be a thing anymore. It's just the game comes out and you get it. But This isn't going to be a direct competitor to Game Pass, even though we and everybody else really is going to they're going to weigh them up like that, aren't they? Because let's be honest, the value of Game Pass is fantastic. We've said it time and time again, and that won't change. If Sony can pull off something with their back catalogue, which obviously is humongous, then that will be fucking fantastic, because it's all about game preservation, all that kind of shit. But it's going to be the new stuff. You're going to have this additional subscription tier that you're going to have to pay for. Just yet another subscription to pay for, and you're not even getting the latest games on there. You still got to go and fork out £70, and that's going to. Go on.
I know exactly what you're saying, and I agree that it's not a competitor in the actual product offering sense to Game Pass. However, when somebody's considering, do I get a PlayStation or do I get an Xbox? If that's your decision that you have to make, and Xbox always had, they've got Game Pass, which gives me access to loads of games. Doesn't matter, yes, I'm new, whatever, but it gives me access to a load of games. PlayStation are now saying, we have a service that gives you access to a load of games. And I know they had PS Now and all that kind of stuff, but that's the competitor nature, the competitive nature of the product offering. It's not necessarily saying that you're going to get day-and-date games, because I know for us as avid gamers, that could be a tipping point. But for the person walking into the shop when they are in shops and saying, what console do I want? Both of which have subscription services which have hundreds of games. That's what makes it a direct competitor.
Yeah, and you make a good point. And my immediate thought when you said that was, obviously I got the new Xbox purely based on the fact that I had Game Pass for PC already. And I think, Eddie, didn't you do it because you had Game Pass as well?
Yeah, absolutely.
So for us, obviously, it wasn't so much that. And particular for me, it was because I already had the service on PC. It just made so much sense to get it on the console. But you make a point that those who aren't avid gamers could still see this as actually, it's the same thing. Fundamentally.
I think this is a great move by Sony to keep that step, because they sold twice as many as Xbox in the last gen, and to maintain that, you've got to keep the casual gamers going, because of that percentage sold, there is a smaller proportion who are hardcore gamers. Now, you need to keep the casuals happy, and the casual, this is a perfect service to do that. And to go, what console I'll just get PlayStation. I got a PlayStation 4, I'll get a PlayStation 5. That's the big one that everyone wants, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes, I suppose it is. It's I think that's where they're going with it. And but Kirk, I think you're right. Like, it's another subscription service which I will pay for.
Of course you will. But what about?
I do think they're going to take this opportunity for the normal PS Plus membership that I already get. I think they're going to take this opportunity to bring that price up.
So
the baseline price.
So do I.
So that would be annoying. But I will get whatever they're offering, even though I'll never play any of these old games. I'll still have to have it.
Yeah, so you've got access to them for when you might play them, even though you never will. Fantastic.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Capitalism, making us all happy. Well, in news about subscription services, Kirk, I think you had one as well, didn't you?
I do. There's yet another subscription service, as you've just said. So, did you know that Rockstar are ready to milk the cow that they've bled dry even more by announcing that they have a GTA Plus subscription service that is exclusive to PS5 and Xbox Series consoles? Have you heard about this?
It's not great. That image that you just conjured up.
I was actually imaging, and I was thinking, surely blood and milk are two different things.
That's fried Eddie's mind so much that he was imaging.
Yeah, that's called a metaphor, what he just did there. Where you mix your metaphors in a horrendous manner.
So are you telling me that he milked the cow so much that blood started coming out of its uterus?
Hey, dude, and it's Frankenstein's episode.
Uterus, fuck me.
No, it's dark. Eddie, it's an absolutely skeletal cow with no blood that they're still milking. That's what
God, so it's like a carcass.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, is the milk coming out, or is the milk just from the udder being used too much?
Is it even?
Do you want to ask Rockstar, because they've got the answers?
Right, what's their answer, Kurt? Go on, let's go.
Their answer is, let's get more money from the people that are still playing our game almost 10 years later. So this is priced at $6, which is about £4.50, but I think it's going to be priced at $4.99 over here. It's an optional subscription service for GTA Online, which, as we all know, is like the all-singing, all-dancing multiplayer game of the decade. So this is only for PS5 and Series consoles, which is quite interesting because it seems to be that I guess they're trying to phase out the older consoles by not allowing them on there. But if I remember correctly, they're not actually cross-generational, these games. I think you can only play with the current generation.
Really?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. If somebody can say I'm wrong on that, please do. But
that would make sense because you had to buy
the upgrade
game again, didn't you?
Yeah, exactly. So basically, what this subscription service is going to give is GTA currency, special vehicle upgrades, and much more. Now, what I find hilarious is here are some of the snippets from the list of things that you'll get for this subscription service. So every month you'll get $500,000 in GTA currency delivered to your maze bank, and that will reoccur every month. You'll get the auto shop located in La Mesa, introduces an assortment of gameplay updates from Los Santos tuners, and the current auto shop owners can relocate to La Mesa at no additional cost. Okay, I don't really know what that means. Waived LS car meet membership fees. So I'm guessing that you have to pay in-game currency to go to car meets. Yacht owners can upgrade to the Aquarius Super Yacht at no additional cost.
That sounds good.
I know, right?
That sounds very good.
The conveyor livery for the Mammoth Avenger, you get that. And in addition to 2 times car meet rep on the Street Race series. Now, again, well, as I said before, I have no idea what half this stuff means. I haven't played GTA Online since, I think, when I originally had it on the 360, when it first came into fruition there. But obviously, it is a huge game. Now, this is just another way for them to, I guess, like I said at the beginning, milk the cow. I mean, do we really need another subscription service? Yeah, exactly. That. The thing that concerns me for this is it just means they are, I don't even want to say double down, because they've more than doubled down on it. They've more than tripled down on it. They've quadrupled down on this thing now, haven't they? Now this being the 3rd generation of the game. And there's now a subscription service. So where's GTA 6? And
no, Kurt, I think you've misread that one. I think you've gone down the wrong path. I think this is good thing. This means good that they're going to release GTA 6 sooner than you think, because this, I think, is the precursor to GTA 6, because if they introduced a subscription service at the point of GTA 6, people would be like, what the fuck? So they're testing the waters with GTA 5, and they're aiming this at the people that already spend money every single month.
Yeah.
So get them on board, get the hardcores on board, ease them into GTA 6, and then suddenly, subscription service for GTA? Yeah, what of it?
Well, I completely agree with what you're saying, Ben, and I actually think you've hit the nail on the head there. Can I just pause to highlight, this is good thing, this means good?
Yeah, I couldn't get my words. The mind was going and saying, right, I've come up with something here. We've got to get it out, Ben. We've got to get it out. This is good thing. This is good.
This means good. That's what I like most. Yeah.
This means good.
This means good. Yeah, fantastic.
I got there in the end, though.
Yeah.
I mean, it just
point expressed terribly. Yeah.
It just goes to, it's just yet another subscription, and it's just where our money's going now, isn't it? and it's just time and time again.
Well, this is the thing. I think the four of us have the benefit of we're not giving them any money anyway, so it's fine. And I do find it ridiculous that this would be a subscription added in, but I think Ben is correct that they are testing the waters for GTA 6. That's what they're doing now. They're in a strong enough position that they can do that.
Well, Sony have like something ridiculous, like 10 live service games coming in the next couple of years. Live service, like ongoing games, are like games as a service model.
Yeah,
they are going to be a lot of people's everyday game.
Yeah,
and I've said it before how I want one of those games, and I'd be the perfect target market for when I actually find one where that's my go-to all the time, and I pay for one of these services. And they are looking to the people that are playing every single day of this game, and they are spending on microtransactions anyway. Tie them in, make it better for them, but tie them in.
Just one question I've got then. So just so I've got this clear, are you saying that you think that GTA 6 is going to be a live service game? So it won't be a single player experience like.
I'm not saying that.
I think they'll release it as a single player game, but then they'll introduce like seasons and things that come out each month. I reckon
there's going to be a live service element, isn't there?
Yeah, exactly.
I think that what they've learnt is that the single player draws people in
exactly.
to play GTA.
Yeah.
But GTA Online is where people stay.
Exactly.
And their single player will no doubt be excellent and will be just like the previous ones, maybe even better and bigger and all that kind of stuff. But there will certainly be a whole new GTA 6 Online.
Do we know how
That's where the money is.
Red Dead 2 did online?
Yeah, it didn't do well, and I think the reason is oldie-timey stuff is shit. Like when you're doing PvP is gash.
Yeah.
Like I think that's like where PvP, like on GTA 5, it's wow, you can do all this cool stuff, and they put ridiculous things in there.
It's like the racetracks and stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, I've seen all that
in the air and all that kind of stuff. It looks like a lot of fun.
Shit.
Yeah, you can't do that with
Let's ride on a horse.
Cart and horse.
Cart, or pop a cart on the back, maybe, and shoot someone with my revolver. Great. That's it.
Fair enough. But yeah, that's that one. Fucking subscriptions, great. Another one.
Yeah, fantastic.
All right, I'll pick up the mood a bit. What this is picking up the mood? Fuck you.
Oh, okay, good. I'm glad.
Epic Games has raised $70 million for Ukraine from a week's worth of Fortnite profits.
Wow.
So I saw this on Eurogamer, but they released the information on Epic Games' blog. But they did say all profit from the game for 2 weeks will be given to humanitarian efforts in Ukraine. With another week to go, this total is set to rise. How good's that?
Awesome.
$70 million.
That is awesome.
That coincides with... Oh, sorry, Kurt, you go.
I was just going to say, sorry, it does also highlight just how much that fucking game makes.
Yeah, that's what I thought when I saw this.
Yeah, it's an insane.
It's almost like an advert. It's a weird flex.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't mean that. But one thing, it coincides with Fortnite have done a week or two of no build mode.
I've heard about this.
I've seen that, and it's huge. Made huge.
So you get loads of people. So like you get loads of people playing it. So I wouldn't have been surprised this week, Eddie, if you said I've been playing Fortnite. Because for that reason.
It's if it wasn't so. I've got to admit, the building is the big thing that puts me off that game. Because have you seen it when they just do the it's not even building, is it? It's kind of just like whacking stuff up. Oh, it's the stupidest thing I've ever seen. But it's still very kiddie. It's like the child's version of PUBG, isn't it? Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is.
They obviously tailor it to that. But yeah, incredible money. Because it's free to play, isn't it?
It is.
Am I wrong in saying that?
Yeah. It's free to play.
So this is all in-game
microtransactions.
purchases.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's fucking nuts.
Ooh, that's big money. Mm-hmm. But it's going to a good cause, so we can all be happy instead of very, very depressed that Fortnite's making that much money.
Yeah, save that for another week.
Yeah.
Right. Shall I bring down the mood? No, I'm not bringing down the mood. Oh, no, am I bringing down the mood?
Come on.
Let me look at my... I've gone to the wrong story, so let's see. No, I'm bringing up the mood. Right.
Okay.
Right.
Very good.
Do you remember the last couple of weeks I've been banging on about GTA 7 and all the trials and tribulations that game has had?
Do you mean
and last
GT7?
week they... Yeah, what did I say? Gran Turismo.
GTA.
What?
GTA.
Yeah,
GTA 7.
We haven't even got
right,
6
we're not-
yet.
Yeah,
Is
we're
there
not
a
GTA 7.
subscription?
This is now episode 500. No, GT7, Gran Turismo 7. Yeah, so they had made it harder to earn credits, and everyone kicked off and all that kind of shit. So it became a grindy mess.
Yeah.
And their response initially was they want players to take a longer term view, and view this as a live service, like games as a service game. At which point people are like, well, this is a single player game. You have to be connected online, but come on, it's a single player. So that's the biggest mark yet that this is actually a live service game. But people had worked out that it would take 20 hours to grind for one of the better cars in the game, so like the top couple of cars in the game. It'd take you 20 hours to amass surplus kind of credits to get that.
That's horrendous.
I love that.
Especially when you can't resell cars. Now, it is great when
Oh,
you've got a lot of time on your hands.
Nope, we
No,
talked
you
about this
can't.
last week, Eddie.
No,
No,
I
you
don't
can't
remember.
resell
I
cars.
switch off on Bentals. But that's really
That's
sad.
fair. That's fair. But Eddie, it's great for someone like you who goes, I'm in this game and this is all I'm playing, and this is
Yeah.
actually, well, it is and it isn't, because 20 hours to do one task is a lot. But regardless, anyway, people kicked off, and then they've now come out and they've thanked the community for their feedback, as developers do when they go, oh, this has not gone well. And a number of changes are coming in early April. I think it's early April, an early April patch. So, important ones are that they've increased rewards in the events on the latter half of the world circuits by approximately 100% on average. So the credits are doubling in the latter half, which is really good. They've also increased rewards in online races. They've increased the quantity of used and legend cars on offer at any given time. Now, this was a problem when I was playing. When you go to the used car lot type thing, there's about 20 cars there. You're like, what? This isn't
Okay.
this isn't that grand kind of marketplace you advertised at the start. So putting more in that. And beyond that, there will be more world circuit events added, full-on endurance events, including 24-hour races, online time trials with proper payouts, and most significantly, players will be able to sell cars in their virtual garage for credits.
There you go,
so
Eddie.
Before,
Lovely.
you could have multiple cars and you couldn't even sell one of them. But yes, now, Eddie, you can sell cars.
Very cool.
So that is a way to make credits, and also they're giving players 1 million credits that you can redeem in your garage. I think if you log on and redeem it before the 24th of April. Okay. So you've got quite a long time, and so you get 1 million credits. So that's pretty good. So, hopefully this actually now puts the game on a track of being talked about positively, because, it was actually a decent game. But my kind of question, my thought that I had going through this was, do you actually think this bad publicity, and which has now turned out to them giving more to the players, do you think that's actually going to have done really, really good things for the sales, actually?
No, I don't think so.
No.
Do you not think people are talking about it longer than they ever would? I would have thought people would shut up about it by now.
It didn't
Now
do
it's
wonders
got
for
another-
Battlefield.
It's got research. No. Yeah, but they never fixed it, did they?
Yeah.
Now these guys have basically just given load away, and people. So if I was on the fence about GT, and then it was like, oh no, it's getting really bad press. Now I hear this, I go, oh, I'll get it.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I see that. Yeah, I get the point, but I also just think that the game didn't hit the way that I think a lot of people were intending it to. Not just the big wigs at Sony and the developers and stuff, but just the fans. That it just wasn't that experience that they wanted. And then there was all that grinding, and then you had the outage for 30 hours, and then more grinding, and now they're backpedaling big time. I think the damage has been
just
done.
a Sony hater.
I'm not saying a hater.
He is a
I'm
He's just an Xbox fanboy. That's a big difference.
I actually played on PS5 this weekend. I have you know, I loved it. It's great, but it's I don't know. I think people move on so fast these days that games have their time and then they go. And GTA
That's a good
ruined its
point.
time.
Did you say GTA?
No, I said GT.
All right, okay.
You definitely said GTA.
I thought you said GTA, yeah.
The one thing we should know is at least its user ratings have settled at a healthy 1.7.
Oh, lovely.
At least it's stabilised. That's all that they could ask.
It's no longer a freefall because it has hit the pavement.
It is a good point, though, Kirk. You make a good point that games kind of have their kind of 2-week window and then people move on.
That's it.
Yeah.
So we'll see how it does.
Fair.
Indeed.
I'm still 2 wins away on fucking Halo on Onyx. You guys still won't log on with me.
We gave up just before.
Yeah, I know. I swear you did on purpose because there was that Friday night where I went, I'm only 2 wins away from Onyx. And then never again have we played Halo. Fuck's sake.
And look, we were just not happy with giving you an easier target to get your way there. You've got to play against your own peers.
No, fuck that, because then I'll get down to, like, I don't know, whatever dog shit Kirk's on.
Yeah, that's fair. Our levels were bringing down the quality of opposition.
Absolutely.
You were just cleaning up.
Oh, absolutely. I was going to hit that Onyx,
so
the most undeserved Onyx of all time. Yeah.
And I was playing against proper heroes. Pete and I were just struggling our way through.
Yeah, that's it. We had Eddie and Jack making things much more difficult for us.
And for some reason, Kirk's level was quite low, but he was like
decent,
just behind Eddie on how good he is.
Well, except the odd game. Let's not forget the odd game.
Yeah, the odd game I would be completely dog shit.
Yeah, Kirk was either he turned up or he really didn't turn up.
Yeah, I just remember at one point looking at it and you were like 0-9, Kirk, and you recovered a bit from there, but it was like, what has happened? You were
because now and again he gave it to his older brother to play or something.
Yeah.
Very good.
Either way, I'm sure we'll come back to that at some point. Well, just to wrap this up cyclically, I've got another piece of not quite news as well for you.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, so have you guys noticed the things today about Bioshock Infinite?
I've heard some stuff.
Yeah, so it's we all know that Bioshock 4 is in development, by the way, and is rumoured to be out, 2024 at the moment? Mm-hmm. But beyond that, there has been nothing in the Bioshock series outside Burial at Sea content since 2013. And in the last month, it has been noted that there have been 9 updates on Bioshock Infinite in a month.
Okay.
9 updates.
Okay.
The last one was about 3 days ago, and it's not even clear what exactly has been updated. So obviously people are speculating like mad, which is why it's not quite news once again. So some have said this could be in relation to an NVIDIA leak, which mentions a remaster, specifically an RTX overhaul. Others briefly mentioned the idea of the game becoming compatible with the Steam Deck, which to me seems quite a realistic option as well.
Yeah.
I mean, this isn't a pretty old game, but a port to Steam Deck would make an awful lot of sense, wouldn't it?
I was just going to stop. Sorry, I played the remastered collection. That there's like you get all 3 games. It's like $7.99 or something, and they still look really, really good. They don't need to be remastered. So I would put my money on the Steam Deck personally.
Yeah, this is the thing. Well, it also one of the users who actually looked at this on SteamDB and elsewhere noticed that it does mention a 2K launcher. So this is the other option, which could suggest the publisher is working on its own game launcher, either for this or for the entire series.
I think you've missed the other one, Pete. It could be that infamous intern. You could have just been let loose on it and gone, you know what? We want you to do some good stuff in a few months, but we're going to let you have a trial run on that game that nobody's playing anymore. and Bioshock Infinite got a load of updates.
Is that the same? Is that the same intern that tripped? Is that the same intern that tripped over the cable at Nintendo last week?
It's the very same one, Coat.
Yeah,
it's the very same one.
Yeah,
he's also the only one left working at that Microsoft studio.
Yes, he is. Yeah.
This intern has a frenetic life.
Poor guy. Poor guy.
Well, that really did make it not quite news to end there. My God. Yeah, there is a lot of travel involved. Well, with that debacle, I think it is time to move on to new releases.
All right, cool. It's a slow week this week, guys.
It is.
But let me kick off with a huge one. Death Stranding Directors Cut. Coming out on PC, March 30th. Not going to read the blurb. Nice try, Pete. Didn't Kojima criticise Director's Cuts? Do you not remember that a while ago?
Yeah,
he did, right?
He did, yeah. He
but he
didn't
criticised
like the term.
He criticised it before the Director's Cut came out on PlayStation.
Yeah. He just didn't like the term because I think it was something to do with the director's cut is like
Film
the better
specific.
version. So what you've said is that we haven't released a complete version.
Yeah.
Anyway, he also didn't like it in relation to films being a different medium because he's a massive film buff as well, isn't he?
Yes, yeah. But importantly, Eddie, how fucking dare you say this is a slow week when Death Stranding is coming to PC?
Touchy.
Ben, are you going to get it?
Dare.
Are you going to get it even though you've already got
I
it?
could get it on the Steam Deck, couldn't I? No, I'm getting the. I've taken the Death Stranding down on the downstairs PlayStation to install it, so I'll pay the upgrade because I think it's only £5 for the director's cut.
Oh wow! I didn't know they were doing that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's on the PS5. I think it's £5 for the director's cut upgrade.
Oh, that's a great idea.
So I'm gonna have another go on Death Stranding.
Lovely. I've got the PC to play it now, so maybe I'm not even going to pretend
Eddie,
to play it.
come on, you must.
It's no walking
it's an absolute
simulator
classic.
for me.
Absolute classic. Never mind.
Yeah, not for me. Next one, Coromon.
Coromon.
Should we go with that?
Yes.
Coming out on PC and Switch, March 31st. Coromon is a modern take on the classic monster taming genre. Tame Coromon and explore a vast work filled with thrilling turn-based battles, brain-twisting puzzles, and a mysterious threat to the world awaiting defeat. Nobody said a battle researcher was easy.
Being a battle researcher, I think you meant, but
There you go. Just going to highlight that. This looks like the biggest rip-off of the old Pokemons I've ever seen. Like, there are so many things that even some of the creatures or the monsters, as you say, look the same.
They do,
you know what
don't
I mean?
they?
It is just a rip-off, isn't it?
It's crazy, yeah, but like this is it's so like similar that
It's so on the nose, yeah.
I mean, even the
trying to
characters
get
that you
hold
play
of it.
as have caps, like your character in
Yeah.
Pokemon.
It's Pokemon. Yeah.
You're called a battle researcher. I mean, come on, what it's
called Coromon. As soon as you saw that, as soon as I saw that name before I was researching it for this pod, I was like, "Oh, that sounds like Pokemon."
yeah.
It is Pokemon.
I think
is
the
Pokemon.
tagline is "You've got to research them all," but
Oh my god, really?
I'm not taking the piss, Kurt. But I mean, like the world
really
map,
like the look of
the
it.
buildings, like honestly, even the fucking bushes look the same.
I like it.
I
think
bet
it's
you
pretty
do,
good.
Ben. Yeah, no doubt you do.
But this is the
fucking
thing,
good, man.
it's going like another version of the old Pokemon is not a bad thing to have.
Exactly.
Okay, fine.
But
With a
it
load of
is
new Coromon
insane.
to work out what's going on.
Can't wait.
It is insane how derivative this is.
It's incredible what you can get away with, isn't it? Like,
The
what
fact
the
that they
fuck?
didn't even try and change the name that much, I love that. Like, literally, what have we got there? Consonant, vowel, mon. Like, it's the same fucking thing.
What's the bets that the original name was Copymon? They
Yeah.
just went, we can't have that as our final name, actually. Let's Coromon? Yeah, Coromon.
Let's make a little slide around the alphabet here and there, and we're all good. Yeah. Jesus.
Yeah, brilliant. Right, let's move on.
There's probably like a Prof. Elm or something in there as well, isn't there?
Yeah.
It's gonna be fantastic. Yeah.
That'd be amazing. Professor Elm. What? Oh, good.
Right, next one. FixFox. I was going to say Firefox. No, that's an Internet Explorer type. This is coming out on PC, March 31st. Arriving on a curious planet, Vix and her toolbox Tin, great name for a toolbox, explore space, fixing machines with unconventional tools and eating cozy meals with kind robot locals. On an epic adventure, the duo repairs an interstellar beacon, constructs giant mechs, and unravels a cosmic mystery that transcends existence. This is described as a wholesome sci-fi adventure game. I don't like the art style. It looks like really old, like, I don't know, like 80s style. And the puzzles to me look really simple. Like so simple that I feel like you could probably do this if you were doing like computer designing in university. What do you guys think?
I love it.
I do not.
I wish it was on Switch.
Oddly enough, Eddie, the only thing I thought was a couple of the rooms even look like RimWorld, but if RimWorld was done dirty. if you know what I mean. A less clean RimWorld.
All right, I'm buying it. Right, fine. I'm there.
RimWorld is clean. I'll give it that.
RimWorld is very clean cut. Yeah,
But the people that play it are dirty as fuck.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't say
That is. No, it is entirely true.
Sure, it's illegal to buy in some countries, but leave it alone.
Look, my underground dwelling blind cannibal cult don't know what you're talking about. Okay? But no, I mean, it clearly is going for the wholesome vibes as well, isn't it? Like, and I'm sure it'll hit them by the looks of things. But not for
it looks like a Switch game, though. It looks like it should be on Switch.
It does look like a Switch game. That's what I meant.
Can I just say one thing? Sorry. Have you seen the character artwork, the illustration? Because that does not look like a fox to me. It looks like some red-headed person with a white beard that's wearing those fucking shitty cat ears.
It's an anthropomorphic fox. Yeah, like...
I was gonna say, oh, Kirk, I'd like to see you do a fox, but then I thought you are a graphic designer, so you probably would do a pretty good fox.
Yeah, he'd find an image of a fox online and then just do a few tweaks to it.
Yes. You've got me down to a T, Pete. Love it.
I know what
trace
your
and
job
repeat.
requires. All right. Yeah, exactly.
All right, next one. Pirates of Gravity, coming out on PC March 31st. Dogfighting sea dogs. Come out. I'm trying to do a pirate there, but I don't really know.
Keep it going.
I think it was a little bit Cornish. All right. Commander Rocket. It's Irish. That's what it is. Commander Rocket propelled a private ship to this aerial combat roguelike in 2.5D, Father Ted. Equip your ship, train your crew, optimize your build, get blown up, and do it all again.
I didn't hear anything.
Oh God!
I wasn't ready for that.
I'm
actually crying.
Apparently, pirates. A lot of them are Irish. Right, moving on to the game because I don't want to do this to disservice. This looks really, really good. This looks like, to our listeners, Sid Meier's Pirates, but you kind of got rockets on your ship and you're kind of flying through the sky and stuff. You can upgrade your ship, you can do things with your crew, and I think this, for a simple game, this looks really good.
I never thought you'd say that. I never ever expected you to say this looked good.
I loved Sid Meier's Pirates.
It was a great game, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a hell of a game. So this, as soon as I saw it, I went, ooh, this looks a bit like Sid Meier's Pirates. So, yeah, I think if I had never played that, I probably would not be happy with it. But no, this looks fantastic fun.
I'd much rather be playing FixFox on 31st of March.
This is why you own a Switch. Anyway.
No, it's not on Switch, Pete.
No, true. But that's why you own it, because it is a Switch-style game. That said, Eddie, when I said continue with the accent, I meant for the whole show. Can you please bring that back?
I don't know what it was. It started Cornish, then it went Irish. Fuck knows.
I actually had tears. I had tears coming out of my eyes by the end of that. That was fucking brilliant.
I'm in so much pain and I was still laughing so hard.
I'm clipping that. I'm clipping it.
Oh, no. See, this is why I don't do voices. Yeah, well, that one's coming out on March 31st. Looks
you need to do a voice for the next one, Eddie.
What's that? That's like... So the next one
John Wayne style
is Weird West. Going out on PC, PlayStation, Xboxes, March 31st. So that's like a cowboy. Cowboys don't really have accents, do they?
There's got to be something.
Got to say partner in it or something.
American.
Got to say partner.
Yeah. Howdy, partner.
Oh God. I don't know.
Don't actually just say what you want.
I've done you.
I'm so nervous and I was leaning in like, go on, Eddie.
I apologise.
Survive and unveil the mysteries of Weird West through the intertwined destinies of its unusual heroes in an immersive sim from the co-creators of Dishonored and Prey. This game is a kind of twin-stick shooter RPG. I'm not going to say anything else on it because the developers have given me a key and I've been playing it. And there's an embargo, so I can't actually say my opinions or anything until the 31st. But I will be doing a YouTube video, so please on the first, open up YouTube and click on our Grumpy Gamers and then find the video.
It's actually it's on the 31st at 1 p.m. Should be able to see it.
Is that GMT or?
That's GMT. Oh shit! I have
West
to look
Coast.
at the mail actually because it'll say GMT.
It will.
So because it did say it was in UK time, but I think it's a GMT. But we're now BST.
Yeah, boy.
We're BST now. Well, that'll confuse things. Better get that hour right.
Oh yeah, but I don't want to cock it up and we could release it early.
Oh, what an hour!
You would be an hour early, yeah.
Yeah, we'd be dirty dogs.
If you're gonna break an embargo, Kirk, 1 hour is just as bad as a week, basically.
That's true. That's true. Out of all the things for us to get sued for, if we get sued for being an hour early on a review, I'll be pretty upset.
It'll also mean I'm just more free with getting sued by everyone else, because if that's the one that actually breaks the camel back, we may as well just go with everything.
I think Pirates of the Gravite developers might sue us for the impersonation. I think that's what.
You'll find out that's actually how the character talks, and it's Eddie advertising his.
I think all our Irish listeners will come after you before they do. So.
Irish, Cornish, whatever the fuck else was in there. Yeah, Jesus. Right, let's move on. Next one is Bain, coming out on PC, Switch, April 1st. Bain is a comedic adventure where bugs are your friends. Enjoy exploring a crazy and outlandish world full of unique, quirky characters and homages to the history of video gaming. Challenge the developer with your creativity and be the bane of errors. Pete, I thought you purposely put Bain with the error in capitals until I actually saw that that's kind of part of the game.
Yeah, that is their style. Yeah,
it's because they like the errors and the bugs in this game, so they want to kind of emphasize it. So, the whole game, to me, well, the developer has said the developer swears the game he has created is the best one ever made. This looks like one of the worst games ever made. I don't want to say he's wrong, but I'm just saying maybe he has a warped idea of what a good game consists of. But maybe it's not for me. What do you guys think?
It's an interesting concept, but that's about all I've got for it.
Yeah, I think worst game ever is a bit savage.
I like to go extremes, all right? Yeah. If he thinks he's created the best game ever, then I'm going to say it's the worst best ever, so we equal each other out.
It does look awful. It looks horrendous. It
does look awful, yes. And it's got weird combinations of stuff from like Mario-style games to Final Fantasy-style games.
And the trailer did nothing to advertise this game.
Very true.
Nothing. It made it negative. I was more inclined to get the game before I saw anything on it.
That says a lot.
Yeah.
Yes.
Big time.
Yeah, well, that is it from new releases. Pretty slow week, but people have their Death Stranding Directors Cut if they want.
Absolutely. Amsterdam, Lulu. But there's another PC game on Epic.
There is.
The free game for the week is Warhammer Total War 1, isn't it, Pete?
It is indeed, yeah.
No way.
Warhammer Total 1 is free on Epic from the 31st of March for a week. Nice. So for anyone who's not looking to play the big combined maps, but who might have tried Warhammer 3 recently, you can go back and play the start of the series.
That's an interesting one.
Is it comparable in how good
it's a fantastic game, yeah. And actually, it's got a few things that the later ones don't. So in Warhammer 1, they included a couple of mini campaigns, including for like the Wood Elves and the Beastmen, and a couple of other races. Which are a really different experience and they're really fun. They're kind of... Eddie, did you ever play like the Crusades in Medieval 2?
Oh, yeah, of course.
And like they had another one for the Aztecs, didn't they? And another one for like the Vikings.
They had jihads as well, didn't they?
They did, yeah. So they had... so those mini campaigns, they're very similar to the ones in Warhammer 1. So it gives you just a really different experience on like a smaller but much more detailed map. So
cool.
It's a really cool one. So I would recommend it to anyone because it's free. I mean, why wouldn't you give it a
go? Indeed. Yeah. But if you've got Game Pass, they've got the third one there, haven't they?
They do, yeah. Although right now, if that's a 50-50 on which one's better.
But Pete, what factions are in the... Because I got the first and second combined, so I never actually played the first one alone. What factions are in the first one?
So the first one you had Empire, Dwarves, Vampire Counts, and
Vampires.
Orcs.
Can I be vampires with a dragon?
You can, Ben, yes. It specifically has what you were after. The main vampire, in fact, rides on a dragon.
Fucking right. So
when he gets one. And you also had Norska, the Beastmen, and the Wood Elves added to
Downloading.
That. Yeah, it's a really good game, and I actually still sometimes play it, even now. Although Warhammer 2 mostly is taken over because the maps overlap. So, yeah. But I do play it for the mini campaigns more than anything because the Beastmen one is really good. I mean, the Wood Elf one is as well, but I haven't played that as recently. But yeah, so that's available for a week from this Thursday.
Cool.
Right.
And with that, I suppose we should move into what we've been playing. And Eddie, I know you can't talk about what you've been playing, really. But I'm guessing you've also still been playing Tarkov, haven't you?
Yeah. Don't get me wrong. I've been playing a lot of Weird West, and I've been playing a lot of Tarkov. I've even been dipping back into the golf game now and again when I've.
Nice.
Oh, fancy!
Yeah, it's the beauty. I've got my new rig set up. So what I did is I was a bit naughty, as you know. I had a week off last week, and I hit the shops. So I got myself a new desk, a new gaming mat, a new keyboard, new mouse, a new stand. A new webcam for our live show because I realised the other one was not great. But I'm not lying, right? I put the thing on. It's 2 HD. Honestly, I can see the pores in my face. I honestly tried to put my stand on the other side of the room to see if I was less. It's just so fucking awful.
Sorry, mate. Compression on YouTube will fizzle that out for you. You'll be fine.
Oh, does it?
That right
Don't
up.
worry,
Yeah.
he's going to be grabbing some makeup from his girlfriend before that. Anyway.
Foundation to those pores.
I do that anyway, but still, like. So I've been hitting Tarkov mainly hard, big time on my new shiz. So yeah, it's going well. But look out for that video on the 31st/1st. So.
Fantastic. What about you, Kirk? What have you been up to?
I dipped into, as I played a couple of new games over the last couple of weeks, I thought I'd dip into something a little bit older. So I've been playing a bit of street-forage 4. It's on Game Pass. So
I'm looking forward to you talking about this one because it's been on there for about a year or so, hasn't it?
Yes, it has. I do apologise. You may be able to hear a screeching sound at the moment. Don't worry.
I was wondering if that was a train or if that was...
It's all the fucking time that I get to talk, isn't it? It's lovely. So, again, sorry, listeners. I really am. So this is... I was meant to play this when it came out. I was psyched for it because I loved the first 3 games myself on the Mega Drive. And it plays exactly as you would expect it to. It's just like... It's a street-forage game at the end of the day. It's got really tight controls. Do you know when you? How many of you have played the original games?
I played street-forage 2, I think.
You've dipped into one. That's fine. So you would have pressed it wouldn't have been Y back then. It would have been A or B, I think, for the Mega Drive. But you don't press the Y button for a special attack, which used to call in the police. It now drains your health, but it uses like a special power up instead that you have, like a special kick or a special punch or something. And I then found out as I was playing the game a bit further in, I got to stage 4, and when you're fighting the police, they actually call in the backup that you used to get in the prior games, which I thought was quite cool.
That's good.
And so, yeah, you now have these, I guess they're kind of like in-person special attacks. So you can also press Y and B together, and it does a different one, which that doesn't actually drain your health, that one, but it does do more damage. However, you've got more chance of getting hit from it. The one that the character I'm using is Blaze. She's still in it, obviously. So it's good old Axel from the first games as well. And when you do this special attack, she kind of levitates in the air a bit, and then there's like this burst of electrical energy that surrounds her and then hurts any enemies that are in that nearby area. So the game kind of starts off in the streets like the games of old. You move to a police station, then to a cargo boat, and basically enemy-wise, it's a mix of new and old. There is, I'll tell you what, I don't know, I think they were in the second one, but there are these fucking dickheads with mohawks that like to kind of like, I guess, like slide into you, and they are really fucking cumbersome to get to because they like do like a dive slide with and they kick you from underneath, and they always end up breaking your like combo or something, which really fucks me off because part of this game is essentially getting your combos up and stuff like that. You're like getting more points. The more points you get, the more chance you've got of getting additional lives, so that you can obviously last longer in the game. I was finding myself at the end of each kind of stage I was doing, you get ranked by grade, and you can get like A, B, C, etc. I was kind of like averaging out C's and B's with this. Honestly, I know they couldn't do too much with the graphics on this, on the basis that if they deterred too much from the pixel style that the first 3 games were, it wouldn't feel like Streets of Rage. But they've done something quite clever because it's kind of cel-shaded graphics, but it feels new while still feeling old, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Definitely.
Yeah.
The sound design of the game as well is still great. It's still got certain sounds that they used to have in the old games, like when you picked up an apple or chicken or any cash. Like they're still the same sounds, just updated for the newer systems, etc. The music is still as I wouldn't say it's as memorable as the original games because I could literally hum a song from the first game still, but I couldn't tell you what it was on this one. But it's still kind of catchy, like when you're playing the game. Bosses are pretty much as you'd expect. Like I said, the second boss was you face off against the police commissioner, and he literally throws punches like a fucking boss at you, which is quite entertaining. And they've also got this dweeb-looking enemy, which is like, I'm guessing it's like I don't know what they're trying to depict here, but they kind of have their hands in their pockets, they're shirtless, and they look like hipsters. And then what they do is they literally headbutt you or throw flying kicks at you 3 at a time. But until they attack you, they just stand there, just doing nothing, which was just a bit weird. Overall, I'm having fun. It's an easy game to play, in the sense of it's a pick up and play game, and you don't have to think too much.
How long do you reckon it is, Coke?
I think I've probably played it for a couple of hours the other night. I think it was on Saturday night. And no, not this weekend. It was last week. Sorry. I would probably say it's probably about 8 to 10 hours long. I think.
Is that because? So do you have to start again if you lose all your lives?
I haven't got that far yet, so I've still got all my lives intact. So I just stopped playing. So that was all. But I'm gonna carry on with a bit more this week to. Alongside the other game I've been playing.
Do because I wouldn't mind playing it, and you could do co-op online, right?
Yeah, I think you can actually. Yeah, there's loads of co-op.
You're not filling me
with
confidence, but
no. The thing is, what you got to remember is when I loaded up the game, I was just going right single player, let's go. But I think you're right. There was an option for online co-op, so
I think it'd be cool to play because I think it'd be cool to play together.
Yeah, it could be fun with your mates because I remember the first games being like great. You'd always get your mate over and see how far you could get before you both tapped out with losing all your lives or you got to the end. So, but no,
was that a side swipe saying it'd be fun with your mates? You didn't want to play with me. Is that a side?
It wasn't, but I'm glad you took it there. That shows your insecurities, mate. But. But yeah, no, it's a fun game. It's one of those palate cleansers, I would say. And there's nothing bad about it really. It's just fun. Like it's not like the most amazing game in the world, but it's just fun to play. You know,
a good gaming limbo.
Yeah,
game.
yeah, exactly. So
lovely.
Yeah.
Okay.
Excellent.
Shall I talk about Ghostwire then?
I think you probably should, yeah. I think we've reached that moment.
Right, so Ghostwire Tokyo. So it came out last Friday on the 25th, and this is the last Bethesda game that's going to... Well, it's a PlayStation exclusive before everything moves over to Xbox. So we're thinking it's a 1-year exclusivity on the PlayStation, and then it will be on Game Pass. So
yes.
If you're Xbox only, then this will be available in a year. But if not, it's just PlayStation and PC at the moment.
Now, they're only publishers, though, aren't they, on this one?
Well, Tango Gameworks, aren't they
they're
of the
under
studios?
Bethesda, yeah.
Yeah, they're under Bethesda.
They own by ZeniMax.
Yeah, they are. It's all under the same banner. So it is actually Bethesda.
Okay, fair.
So this game, it is very easy to pick holes in, and the Metacritic scores have been very mixed, and they've been around 70, but there are highs and lows to that. Quite a lot of variability in the scores. I have completed it, and just to give an idea on length of the game, I did the main story with side quests in about 10.5 hours. But if you did a healthy dose of side quests, you could probably get this to 15 hours. If you're looking completionist, doing everything, opening up all areas of the map, etc., probably looking at 20 to 30 hours, I'd say.
Okay.
So that's kind of length of game. But I think it's good the way that they've done it, and I'll get onto that. So the story is basically, it's based in Tokyo. Everyone's disappeared. You play a guy called Akito, and he's halfway between life and death because you've been resurrected after a motorcycle accident, and you've bonded with this spirit called KK. Now these two characters, Akito and KK, are the main good guys, the main protagonists, kind of in the game, and they're always talking to each other, and it doesn't grate. So that's the first thing. The characters are not annoying, and the English voice acting very, very good. Because I always like an English voice acting. I rarely ever put it on the like native Japanese speaking and then subtitles. I like the English acting, and it's very good in this. But this is an action adventure game in a horror type setting, but it never goes full horror. It never goes like the original trailers suggested. It's not a proper horror game. The combat is magic, and it's essentially a first-person shooter. Lot of reviews talk about stealth in the game, and that it's a stealth first-person shooter. Honestly, if that was a concern, because I don't like stealth, don't worry about it. I never use stealth. Just go in magic blazing.
Is the magic
it's an open world.
Is the magic like Bioshock style magic, like where you kind of like use your hands and?
Yeah, you just cast it with your hands. It's a bit like kind of how you imagine Harry Potter without a wand.
Right. Okay.
If you it's just casting with your hands, and yeah, it's it is good. So you can use fire, wind, and water attacks.
Okay.
And you can use talismans to do different things like stun enemies, etc. But basically, you only really need the magic. You can use a magic shield, but you rarely ever use shield. The combat is quite easy. I only played on normal difficulty, so it is easy. You basically never die. I died. I think I died twice, and both were just in stupidity, just in the game.
Yeah.
Just I didn't heal in time, or whatever, or I had the wrong item to heal with, or whatever. So, but it's got that Doom style of like ripping out cores of enemies, and that replenishes ammo and stuff like that. So your magic requires ammo. Which you have to replenish, but it's very plentiful. It's all over the world. So, and the world is an open world. So this is an open world Tokyo-based game, and you cleanse shrines, and you do parts of the story, and it opens up more of the world. Nice. But the combat itself is a bit Marmite. A lot of people are saying like it's not varied enough. It's not this. It's not that. One of the beautiful things about this game is that if you want to mainline the story, it's only 10 hours. If you really love it, you can do more. If you really, really love it, you can do more than that. So I don't think the combat outstays its welcome. I don't think the lack of enemy types kind of outstays its welcome as well. Like, I think all these things actually work quite well within the parameters of a 10 to 15 hour game, doing some side stuff. But ultimately, if you don't mind it, you could do a lot more. So I do like that kind of style of what they've done, but the combat itself, you're never really in that much danger. There's so many health items everywhere. Like money in the game is so plentiful. Like you never ever run out of money. It's crazy. But the story, as I said, you're this guy halfway between life and death. The story is serviceable. The premise of what you're trying to do is quite simple. It's not a spoiler. You're just trying to save a family member. That's pretty much the whole premise. And that's okay, but just for people to... That's all it is. It's not going to set the world alight. That's literally all it is. But for me, and this is the massive thing, this is where the game really was great, the world building was awesome. Like, it felt so real. Tokyo feels real. Cool. Apart from all the ghosts and all that kind of shit that you're fighting. But you remember when we were planning to go to Japan, Pete?
Of course, yeah.
And you know, the world went to shit and we never did that. But this has just reignited it totally, because this is like it's got the grime as well as the awesomeness of Tokyo. It's got everything. The interiors of the buildings look so real. It's like everything just looks so authentic. And that's what I really, really loved. And as you explore the city and it gets bigger and bigger, it's like, this is such a cool place. Like, the actual world that they put together is amazing. And what I uncovered, I think I said to you earlier, Pete, I think I've unlocked like a third of the map. Like, there is this world is huge. You can do so much. You don't need to, because you can complete the game without getting all these upgrades and you just do the game. But there is so much to do if you want it. But I think if you went down that route, it would get quite repetitive. But it's absolutely monstrous. But then that kind of leads on to the next point, that there is this massive feeling when you're playing this game that it's 75% of a bigger game. And you don't... It's so hard to explain. There is something missing in this game from making it incredible. Like, they've got all the pieces. They've got this like awesome kind of paranormal stuff going on. They've got a serviceable story, but whatever. The world they've created is amazing. The combat is good enough, but then there's something that they've missed. And there were heavy rumours that this game had like changed in its style from a proper horror game through to more action adventure.
Do you think it would have worked as a horror game, a standalone horror game, if they?
I tell you what, the world that they built could genuinely be a horror game. When you go into some of these buildings, some of these apartments, doing some of these side missions, because the side missions make the game. Like, they really, really do. Like, the side missions are really fun, and they're really varied. However, over time, you realise it's actually the same thing that you're doing. It's just that there's a story element they attach to.
Right.
You go to a ghost says something, or it could be something really mundane, like so stupid, like Yakuza style stupid. A ghost didn't finish going to the toilet, so you need to bring it toilet roll. Like, fucking ridiculous stuff. Or it could be, this ghost can't pass on because its abuser is stuck in that house and wouldn't let it go or something, and you gotta cleanse the house. Like, but when you go into these houses or these apartments, and there's like garbage everywhere and there's flies everywhere and it's dark, and it's like, wow, the atmosphere that it creates is amazing. But because you've got plenty of ammo and you're never under threat, it's not a horror game.
Yeah, fair enough. I wonder if it was to dial up the ammo counts to make it less horror.
You know what? That's often that would turn a game less horror for me.
Exactly, it turns a horror to an action, doesn't it?
Yeah,
it does.
This game, like, and we talked about Death Stranding earlier. This has massive Death Stranding vibes, especially because the main antagonist in the game, like the main bad guy, is like so similar. The cutscene, everything feels so similar, but weirdly, it's a first-person game. You only see your person in cutscenes, and there's like, you can change his outfit in like the menus and stuff. So it's almost like it was an RPG. It was almost like it was supposed to be an RPG, third person, first person, maybe a different type of game to what it actually ended up being. And the game seems to always be constantly on the edge of being something amazing.
Okay.
And it just never gets there. It's like, what happened to hold this back? But yeah, as I said, the characters are fun. The voice acting is good. I liked the people that I was interacting with. There's one part where the person lets out an emotional kind of like cry, and Jesus, it was so. I don't get emotional in video games, like, at all. Ever.
You heartless bastard.
I've ever cried to a game, I don't think. But fucking hell, like that one particular moment got me. I was like, whoa, I need to pull myself together. So it's the actors were good. But
as a man who does get emotional quite often, that's a big statement.
To films, to films. But the one thing that it does do, and this is one thing which is fucking amazing, was they do a weird set piece thing when you're walking around in like story missions in like a building or something, and it like morphs the building and the world around you. It's the best I've ever seen that be in a game, where they've changed the game around you as you're like walking through it. Absolutely brilliant. It's like you'd see in Control, but like as you're doing it.
Oh no,
fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
So yeah, but so the big negatives I think you'll hear from everyone else will be frame rate and kind of graphical options. So the frame rate does drop a bit in this game at times, and it is a bit noticeable. And the game, I think, masks the way that sometimes it looks in terms of like screen tearing and stuff like that, with its with its style of being like paranormal, and it like when you get. It's hard to explain where you get like
leans into it.
Yeah, like an old TV set, where it like readjusts and stuff. It does things like that, which I think almost masks the where it's slightly going awry. And I think people in reviews will say this is an issue, but it is not an issue because it does not affect your performance. It does not take you out of the game. It doesn't affect anything. It's just something that I noticed. If you play on the performance mode, the high frame rate mode, and you turn off motion blur, which I do in every game, you'll be fine. But just don't play in the quality mode or whatever it is, the graphics mode, because it doesn't perform very well. So, and ultimately the loop of this game will probably be repetitive if you played it to its completion, if you were a completionist. But the way that I've played it, and then a bit more side stuff would be enough. But I think overall with this game, I can't say whether it's objectively a good game. I think it's a good game.
How much did you pay for it, Ben?
This is the big thing. So I paid 60 quid. It's a big argument against, because in terms of bang for your buck, it's filler that's delivering a lot of that bang, isn't it? Like, because I did 10.5 hours, got the story, some side stuff, blah blah blah. If I'm going to do some extra side stuff, that's all kind of filler, I suppose. But the good thing about this game is the side stuff really does make the game, because it really helps with the world building, so much, and walking around, it's just fantastic. But the recency bias that I have with this is obviously a massive thing. We mention that on the pod all the time, but I think I often do this in my head where I compare games and I say, well, would I rather be playing this game or Horizon Forbidden West or Dying Light 2? It's definitely Ghostwire. Okay. Without a shadow of a doubt, it's Ghostwire Tokyo. So, and as I said before, it's a weird fucking comparison. And I don't understand why this is, but it makes me feel the same way. If you like Death Stranding, you'll probably like this. That's what I think.
Right.
The walking simulator on Moon or whatever, we're in Mars.
Yeah, completely different. But
very similar.
Anyway, that's what I think. That's what I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you very much. Hello and well. No, wait, we've already done that. God, that's weird.
That was also way bigger than you.
That was a lot of energy from you.
It's huge energy.
Massive.
Well, look, it's very difficult coming back to the podcast a day later, because suddenly I feel like I have to open it the same way. These sort of things, they just build in the way they do. All right. Be thankful I didn't finish it off.
Yes.
But anyway, we've had some news since yesterday, haven't we, Ben?
Yeah, so I don't know if it wasn't explained that you just said we're a day later, but we didn't explain that we were a day later before that, did you? You just expected everyone to know.
Yeah, that's the way I was explaining it then. Passive delivery. Okay. I thought you'd get that having played Elden Ring. Jesus
fine.
Christ.
We played Elden Ring. Yeah. Fine, yeah. So we had to cut it short yesterday, so we're back for the feature. Yes, and there's been news, and it's quite good, because otherwise our podcast would have been very out of date immediately. But but PlayStation have revealed their kind of Game Pass alternative today. It is 3 tiers. The crux of it is the bottom tier is essentially exactly the same as it is right now with PS Plus. The middle tier I think is offering 400 PS4 and PS5 games that can be downloaded, so much like Game Pass, but doesn't come with day one releases, like the big PlayStation releases. Maybe third-party releases, but not PlayStation ones. And the top tier also offers the ability to get like PS1, PS2, PS3, I think PS Vita or PSP games, streaming and downloading, so a combination. So I think it seems like a fairly decent offering. The bottom tier is the same price as well as normal. The middle tier for UK folks, I think it's $10.99, and the top tier is $13.50 odd per month.
$13.49.
Fine, yeah, for per month. So
yeah.
So pretty comparable to the Game Pass kind of pricing when Game Pass is top tier, as in Ultimate, and if you haven't got any deals going on. So that's what they're doing there. It's coming in June, which is a few months away, but I think that's pretty good. I'm not as disappointed as I thought I would be. I'm not disappointed at all, actually. I thought I would be, and I'm not. So that's pretty good. And games like Returnal and Death Stranding are going to be on from day one.
Yes, they are.
You and fucking Death Stranding.
And Returnal. Oh my God, he's never even finished Returnal. I mean,
no, it's too hard.
Yeah.
I want an easy mode. No, what I really want to play is that co-op with somebody, but I'm pestering somebody to get Returnal at the moment so we can play co-op, because I think that would be fucking great.
Fair enough.
Yes, and the other piece of news was that Nintendo have announced that Breath of the Wild 2, which was scheduled to release sometime this year, has been pushed to spring 2023.
Hardly surprising.
So that was kind of expected, though, wasn't it? I mean, we've seen so little about that game, so that's kind of fair enough. And I think we're all going to have enough with Starfield and other. There's another huge game coming around at that time, isn't there, as well? So
assuming we get
Starfield. Harry Potter.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm not convinced.
Well, Starfield and Hogwarts Legacy. If we get one of them, then I'll be happy.
Fair. Yeah.
So yeah, but they're the big news updates in the day that's passed.
We are going to be really up to date now.
Well, I mean,
bang up to date.
Just one day out of date instead of two. Yeah.
No.
Bang up to date.
Really up to date. No.
Really.
Intensely
really
up to date. I mean, the second half, the first half, obviously, is now massively outdated.
Oh yeah, no, that's
if you made it this far, well done.
The thing is, in the episode title, I'll probably reference that we're talking about it, so somebody will listen to the start and go, "What the fuck?"
Yeah. Redundancy. Fantastic. Well, with that, I suppose we should crack on with our experimental feature, shouldn't we?
Yeah,
let's go.
Absolutely.
So finally, it's time to get into creating our own Frankenstein's monster. So, I mean, do we want to explain the format a little bit, Ben?
I think so. Yeah. I think we should.
Okay. So, basically, what we're trying to do here is create our own wonderful new game, and I use wonderful loosely because God knows how it's going to turn out. And to do that, we've decided that we've got 4 elements of gaming here, or really 5, but because there's 4 of us, we've done it this way. So the 4 key ones here being gameplay, story, world building and lore, and characters. And then we've also got music and visuals as the 5th. And to do this, we're going to have, each of us have brought 3 options for those first 4 options. And then we've each brought 1 for music and visuals. And we're going to vote to combine this horrendous panoply of things we've brought together to create one finalised game and then name it.
I mean, could be the greatest game in the world.
It very much could be, but I'm going to do my best to make sure that it isn't what happens.
Yeah,
okay.
I promise you that. No matter what lovely combo you've come up with, I will be voting against it hard. So, yeah. I suppose the easiest way to show this is just to jump into it. And we're going to start with story, which unfortunately means we're starting with Kirk.
What do you mean, unfortunately? Come on. Right. I've brought 3 options to the table. So first one I have is Metal Gear Solid, particularly the first one. So the just a loose format of the story. Solid Snake, who is a legendary infiltrator and sabotager, infiltrates a secret base in Shadow Moses Island in Alaska to uncover a deadly terrorist group and find out what they are up to. And there are, great kind of bosses and weapons of mass destruction and big mechs that are like Metal Gear Rex. So the story is truly gripping from start to finish on that one. Second option, Resident Evil 2. So the story, I think most people know what this is about now, mainly because of the films, but there's an evil corporation. They're a pharmaceutical company, which is called Umbrella. They unleash a biological weapon called the T-virus on the residents of Raccoon City, and it turns them into flesh-eating zombies. So you have the two main characters who go to the city, and they go there for different reasons. They cross paths, and they have to uncover the truth of what happened with this deadly virus before the city gets nuked. And then something a bit left-wing, Sonic the Hedgehog, and the second one in particular for this.
Yeah.
Very different. So Robotnik is planning world domination once again, and he wants to use the Chaos Emeralds and an army of robots, this time creating an armoured space station, which is the Death Egg, which is in homage to Death Star. That's according to Wikipedia, by the way. And Sonic works his way through the multiple zones until reaching the Death Egg and facing off against a robotic version of himself and a giant mech of Robotnik until eventually destroying both and the Death Egg in the process.
I've never heard Sonic being the story of Sonic being described. I mean,
there's a genuine story there, though.
But the thing is, I mean, you went full new releases. I thought we were back in time, Eddie, doing the new releases.
No, there wasn't a pirate accent going on. So
or the Irish.
Whatever that was.
Irish?
Fine. You know what? I'll allow it. But no, I agree, Ben. I think that is. I've never even thought of that way.
Never even thought of it.
I mean, kudos again to Sonic for the fact that he is a hedgehog that comes up against a giant robot and a giant mech and wins.
Yeah.
I mean, respect right there.
Greatest character in the world.
Quite clearly, yes. Oh my God. So it's down to me, Ben and Eddie to decide which of these three we're taking forward.
Which of these riveting stories to take forward? Shall I vote first?
Go on.
I'm a sucker for zombies. I'm a sucker for vampire type stuff and all that kind of shit. So Resident Evil 2, and you get chased a lot in that game.
You do. You like a chase, don't you?
Is a fear. I don't know. I hate it, but it's that's what makes something good. Like it's fearful, isn't it? Being chased and shit. So, and it did make me quit the game. So
leaning towards a sort of. A scary style game, though. Interesting.
Yes. Well, I've just played Ghostwire, which wasn't as scary as it needed to be. So,
did you talk about that in the last podcast? Oh wait, no, it was this podcast.
Oh, in the last it was in the last podcast. Yeah,
that entirely separate thing we did yesterday. Yeah. Which way are you leaning, Eddie?
I'm leaning Sonic the Hedgehog because it's one man against them all. It's the classic underdog story. It's beautiful. It's even before David and Goliath. I mean,
now just remember, you're not actually taking Sonic with you or Robotnik.
I know, but it's the whole underdog.
Yeah, but it's the story.
It's the whole underdog. I love that.
Okay. I mean, arguably, Solid Snake is the underdog because he's going against like 10,000
Yeah, but he's all sneaky and he's actually meant to do it while Sonic's trying to save the world.
Sonic didn't ask for it.
Again, although Sonic is a hedgehog.
Snake is also legendary though, so swings and roundabouts.
Yeah, no, he is. No, you've written that down. He's legendary. Yeah. Okay. Even in the first game, before anyone knew who he was still legendary.
And you know what? Having scanned through the other options here, though, as much as I really want to progress Sonic, I'm going to go Resident Evil 2 because I think of the outcome I might be able to achieve.
Okay.
So I'm going to go.
Okay, so we've got a zombie game. I'm happy with that. We've got a zombie storyline.
We've got evil pharma company creating zombies as our storyline.
Okay.
Fine. Yeah.
That's where we're going with. So that brings us on to characters and the fantastic cast we're going to have in this situation. And that's actually mine. So my three options here are Final Fantasy VII. And by that, I'm obviously meaning Cloud, Sephiroth, Tifa, Garrett, Red, and all the others. Spyro the Dragon is my second option.
Nice.
Yeah. Wow. And in that I am including all those random placeholder dragons, including the geriatric ones, including the Surfer Bro ones.
The Surfer Bros, dude.
Yeah. And as my final option, Portal. Okay. And obviously with Portal, I'm bringing it because I just think it's got a fantastic setup for characters. You've got a completely silent main character who really, the main thing you learn about her is that she's stubborn. That's the main bit. Your villain is dead Spoilers for anyone who's not played Portal. And you've got a posthumous antagonist who can't actually influence anything real time. And then you've got two absolutely homicidal and maniacal robots, one of whom you don't realise is evil at the beginning. He just goes rogue with power, I guess, really.
It does sound like a setup for a podcast. It's quite similar to ours.
There are some similarities. I just wish one of us was the silent one.
That would be a three-man podcast.
Oh, those are
yeah, I mean, if another of us was dead, it would really change the whole situation, to be fair. But yes, so those are your options, guys. And remember, you're putting these into Resident Evil 2.
Mm-hmm. This is hard. This is difficult because I feel like I don't want to use Spyro characters.
You do, though. But you do.
I just don't want to. But the combination of a Resident Evil type story with Spyro is inspired.
You see what I mean?
It does seem like it could work.
Mm-hmm. The thing is, I fucking love a dragon.
Of course you do.
Just not so much Spyro.
There are dragons coming out of your ears, Ben.
He's not your stand-up Game of Thrones.
What are you talking about?
He's going to grow into one, Ben. He's going to grow into one. Come on.
I do like the idea of Portal, maniacal robots, fantastic, taking on zombies. Final Fantasy. I think I don't want the Final Fantasy because I think Cloud would just fuck up zombies, and it just makes for a less interesting story. Even though Sephiroth is one of the most iconic villains in gaming, I'm gonna have to go to Spyro. I don't want to. Ben. I hate myself.
Yes,
I'm gonna have to.
Well done. Well done.
Kirk, you sounded like you wanted Spyro as well, did you?
I mean, I am torn between that and Portal, to be honest with you, because they've both got great characters that could really work well with the Resident Evil storyline. But I think I would probably go Spyro. Yeah.
Oh shit!
Oh,
we've made Eddie redundant.
What would you have gone for, Eddie? What would you have gone for?
I'm trying to create a good fucking game here. I would have gone Final Fantasy. How cool would that have been? Cloud against Sephiroth with like Red helping out. Instead, we got fucking Spyro the Dragon like killing zombies. What the fuck have we created?
How do you not see Nasty Nork as the head of the Umbrella Corporation being a fantastic situation?
Who's buying this game?
I think literally everyone would.
Yeah.
Well, we're only halfway there, guys. So at the moment, we do have as our two protagonists replacing what are their bloody names again? Leon and Claire, replacing them with Spyro and Sparks the Dragonfly. To go up against Nasty Nork as the head of Umbrella. I do think that's a great start, but we need some more background here. We need some more world building and lore, don't we?
Mm-hmm. Lovely world building and lore. Okay, so the three that I've brought to the table, Elden Ring. Mm-hmm. So Elden Ring being like, that drip feeding of info as you go through the game, like not really just a wonderful setting. The thing that's built from the ground up, and you're learning as you go through, but you don't really always know what's going on, and everything's in riddles. Mm-hmm. So that's your setting there. You've got Death Stranding. Bloody love Death Stranding, which is a bit like Elden Ring, but it's that post-apocalyptic real-world alternative. But it's basically like Elden Ring because, but whereas in Elden Ring you're always told what the purpose is. So in this case, it would be to take out the Umbrella Corporation or whatever maniacal corporation it is. In this, you wouldn't really know what your purpose is. Your purpose isn't really understood until you get right through, and it's drip fed so annoyingly.
Right.
And then the last one is Mario Odyssey. So in Mario Odyssey, you've got a number of areas of ridiculousness. So they've got different worlds, different areas, different biomes. Each is totally ridiculous and not connected to the last. Where the only thing consistent between those worlds is that you've got different levels of platforms and you've got hidden items hidden all over in every nook and cranny going around. So at the same time, the information around your very existence is very limited and unknown.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
That is so. we're transporting the Umbrella Corporation and their new enemies to one of these, basically. That's how I'm seeing this in my head.
Yep.
Now, Elden Ring, that would just be I mean, the one that makes sense, obviously, is Death Stranding.
Yeah.
And the one I want to go with is obviously Mario Odyssey.
Yeah, I thought you might. I thought you fucking might.
Yeah, that is true.
Because for one thing, I just want to see any pharma company try and operate in Mario Odyssey's world.
It would make sense, but what a game that with Death Stranding, that could be a good. They can actually start to make a really good game with that.
It would have been possible, but please no.
I'm Death Stranding.
Okay.
I'm still trying to make a good game here, and I think that that whole world with the Umbrella Company. Let's just ignore we got fucking Spyro heading it all up.
No, don't ignore it. Put it at the front of the box. Spyro.
Eddie, we've still got 2 more categories to go after this. You could still save it.
God help us. Death Stranding's my vote.
Okay. I do get that. I think it's a very wise choice. It's got that dark, gritty sort of setting that goes well with Resident Evil style.
Yeah.
Brings it back to more of that horror style game or scary style game that Ben was thinking at the beginning.
Yeah.
I do like that. What about you, Kirk? Where are you lining up?
Well, I mean, I quite like the idea of the fact that we've got Spyro running around like Raccoon City Police Department and trying to find things that he needs to, help him out against zombies and take down Nasty Nork. So I'm thinking I could go Mario, to be honest with you, on this one.
Oh shit!
Oh god, we are going that way.
Yeah,
no, I'm changing my vote.
No,
I'm changing my vote. It's
I don't know if you can
Kirk's
change
redundant.
your vote.
Kirk's redundant. We're doing Death Stranding as the world building because it does make sense.
Okay.
And by this, we know we're leaning more towards a scary game.
And we're making a real game now.
Yes.
So now we are almost making this scary game. So now that the next ones we can see what we can do with that, knowing that, yeah.
Or maybe I'm just building this up for a much worse fall in the end. Yeah. Anyway, Eddie, you got gameplay, and we should probably clarify for everyone because obviously there are certain niches in this that there's overlap, as we have with story and world building, for instance. Because bear in mind, Kirk, there is no Raccoon City Police Department anymore because we're now pretty much in Death Stranding. So they'll just have to find something similar there. Fair. So with gameplay, we are talking everything from platforming to mechanics to combat and whether it's an open world or a sandbox game. Eddie, what are your options?
All right, so first one, I'll get the easy one out of the way. Mountain Blade, or for those of you who don't know Mountain Blade, Banlord, that came out last year. For the mechanic reasons...
If you don't know Mountain Blade, you're very unlikely to know Banlord.
No, that's
you
not
don't
fair.
know, there's that equally obscure... the prequel game.
No, Bannerlord was massively advertised. It's like huge budget, massive budget. Like
I've heard of neither of them.
Yeah,
I mean it's AA at
I've
best.
heard neither of them.
Yeah, of course you haven't, Kirk. It's not roomy game. Anyway, we're getting off topic. So it's open world. It's story generator. You have your main person, and you kind of build up an army by getting friends, and you go and fight other armies. The battles itself is many people against many people, or it can be small groups against small groups. The second one is Crash Bandicoot.
Fantastic choice.
I don't even know how to describe this. When I was thinking this last night, what do you describe Crash Bandicoot? Like
it's like a 3D platforming.
3D platformer, spins, jumps on things.
It is a platformer, but it's all along like one track. So is that really a platformer?
Oh, it does do some side by side as well.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah. The camera changes, yeah. So I guess the mechanics with this is it's very linear. There's a lot of jumping, and you have to make sure you get past certain things and jump on certain enemies,
like zombies.
There you go, nailed it. And the third one, and fuck knows how we're going to fit this one is The Sims. So it's mechanics of it's based in one place. You learn by doing
point and click.
Yeah, point and click. You level up by doing things constantly, or you build friendships by talking to them and saying certain things. So yeah. There are your ones. This is where you can ruin this game if you wanted to.
Okay, right.
Well, just before anyone makes any rash choices here, I just want to remind you that you could theoretically say that The Sims would work quite well here. For instance, say it was the Raccoon City Police Department was the house, as it were, or the closest equivalent in Death Stranding to that, Ben. And you're defending it from wave after wave of zombies as you try and find a solution.
Pete, I'm way ahead of you here because I'm thinking that Mountain Blade / Bannerlord, because that makes a difference. That open world kind of stuff. I think zombie open worlds have been done to death, and putting a dragon in there doesn't make it any better. I don't think we should do zombie open world. And equally, if you put Crash Bandicoot type gameplay in, then you're basically making another Spyro game.
You are, yes. Yeah,
it is true.
Darker,
and you know what? Don't like those games. I don't give a shit what you say, Kurt. Don't like those games.
All right, fucking hell.
That's at you. That's at you.
Yeah, I know it is. You addressed me directly.
Kirk. And lastly, The Sims point and click. Now this could work. This could work in the setting. As you said, defending, clicking to put up wooden stuff to around to stop the zombies get in and all that kind of shit.
Change the door to a metal one when you've got enough cash.
Exactly.
Fuck! Think
what
about
a wonderful idea.
Think about it as well, Ben. We were saying with Death Stranding, you start out not knowing your purpose. So it could literally be that Spyro and Sparks the Dragonfly...
You're just dragons in a police station.
They're just trapped in a building trying to survive these waves of zombies.
You're just dragons trapped in a building trying to survive. And then getting the hammer and nail out and just fucking putting the wood up.
You've got Grandpa Dragon upstairs wandering around, wondering where his glasses are. You've got Surfer Bro stoned on the couch.
That makes sense. The drip feeding of the information. Why are these dragons in this one place defending themselves from fucking zombies? Why is it point and click? Why is there no real combat? I don't understand it. Yes,
fantastic.
The Sims. The
Sims as well. Gameplay. Thank you. Kirk's redundant. Perfect.
Kirk, what would you have said?
I was going to go Sims, but fuck you guys.
Yes, okay. And I think we've got something shaping up here, guys. I really think we do. But obviously, we have to look at the lens through which we view it. Obviously.
Yep.
And that brings us to audio-visual.
Yeah.
Now, this is the one where it gets difficult because there are 4 of us, which means potential for a two-way split, as always. In which situation, it's random number generator all the way, boys, because I can't be bothered.
Yeah.
So
we're not having that situation again.
We're never having that situation again, yeah. So what we should do is present our options, and I'll start. Just, of course, to make this wonderful situation better, we're looking at this. It's Sims gameplay in a Resident Evil Death Stranding setting with the characters from Spyro, and I want us to see this through the lens of Civilization 2. And that includes the music.
Jesus Christ!
Yeah, okay, so that isometric visual style.
Yeah,
that would work. The music, I'm not sure would fit.
Definitely. But that's what I'm presenting to you. Kirk, what was your option?
My option is Ori and the Will of the Wisps. So the dramatic music that builds up and mellows down depending on the severity of the gameplay at hand. If you get waves of zombies coming at you, it gets really intense. And then when you get a calm section, it's okay. And then obviously the visual for it, hand drawn, and really dark aesthetic, but also really punchy, bright colours at points where it needs to hit.
Yeah. And stunning music.
Stunning music, yeah. Imagine rocking out to stunning music whilst you're trying to find things and...
No. While you're trying to defend your one building
defend
with your dragon and his dragonfly
defend your
friend.
one building. Yes.
Also, I should have pointed out, Spyro's supporting characters, by the way, include what must be some kind of satyr creature and a cheetah. That's what you've got to support you.
Okay.
Which, I mean, a cheetah in a very small static space that you don't leave is just a fantastic combo. That's their strong suit. But okay, so we've got Civ 2 or Ori and the Will of the Wisp so far. Eddie, what have you got for us?
I'm going to still try and make this an actual game that we'd play, and I'm going to bring Dead Space in there. The dark, gritty, ominous, I don't know, scary atmosphere. I think with this game, okay, a lot of it's fucking stupid, but if you were still in this dark, groomy, and zombies are attacking, this could still be a game.
Okay.
Yeah. Good.
In theory, yeah.
If you fucking voted for it and not something stupid like Civ 2.
I don't understand what you dislike about that. Is grainy 90s style animation not what we want with this game? I mean, come on. It sounds perfect to me. I mean, they didn't even animate any face on anything in Civ 2. The only thing they brought in was obviously you had that council of advisors who were actors they recorded in snippets, one of whom screamed at you sometimes.
I loved those.
Yeah,
but you had to have the disc. You had to have the disc for them to load.
You did. Otherwise, they were just blank, weren't they?
Yeah, they just get the words.
But that's what you get in the emulator these days as well. Sad times.
In contrast to Pete's Civilization 2, I've gone for Gran Turismo 7. So hyper realism,
lovely,
or graphics at least that Twitter will tell you are much better than they actually are. And the music would range from classical music through to Radio 1's dance weekends.
Fantastic.
Depending on what's going on.
I mean, that's not a bad shout, to be fair. I mean, I've heard worse in zombies mode in Call of Duty. So it's not exactly...
Well, and now, of course, we have to decide, by the way, on one. And I think the easiest way to start here is by saying that everyone should say a vote quickly that isn't their own.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Okay.
And I'm going to start off by saying I want this Gran Turismo 7.
Okay.
I am... Kirk's Dead Space.
From Kirk. Okay.
I'm Ori.
Ooh.
I'm Dead Space.
Oh, we've got a game on our hands!
We've got a game!
I'm so disappointed. Could you imagine this? Could you imagine this wonderful game we've created with Radio 1's Dance Weekends blaring when you have no idea why?
I couldn't vote for my own.
If you'd gone for anything else, we wouldn't have had a winner.
Oh yeah, could have gone for Civ 2, but then it would have a random number generator, and then we'd probably get Civ fucking 2.
Yeah, which would still have been better.
That's exactly what he wanted.
No, because that would have taken it down a peg. We got ourselves a game at least with Dead Space.
I'm so sad about that. This is a missed opportunity, gentlemen. This is a massively missed opportunity. Could you imagine?
I mean, we still got Spyro there, Pete. It's
Could
still
you imagine
shit.
being a small, an adolescent lost dinosaur like dragon? He's close enough to a dinosaur, really, though, at the beginning, because he barely even flies. Adolescent lost dinosaur trapped in a small building and controlled by point and click, with his only support being a small dragonfly, a cheetah, and a satyr girl. And they're getting constantly attacked by waves of zombies sent after them, while not having a fucking clue what's going on, because the story is delivered so passively that it takes them 6 months to receive a letter telling them they need the news, or they need to create a cure to the virus, and that they can actually do that. And also, we haven't even considered if the zombies outside are zombie dragons, which obviously you would think they are.
God.
Oh, they should
Game
be.
Of Thrones.
Yeah, so we've
Game of Thrones.
Yeah, and we've actually turned this into a sort of viable option. I'm disgusted with this. Come on. But one very important matter remains, gentlemen, which is, of course, the name.
Okay. Who's going first?
Okay.
I've got one already.
Go on.
Project... What's the name of the dragon? I've already forgotten it.
Spyro.
Project Spyroid. If hardcore gamers will know Project Zomboid, and if you don't, and let's be honest, Project Zomboid has got a lot of these ticked boxes. It's kind of dark and gritty. It's a kind of Sims game. It's a zombie game. I'll tell you what, I think we've pretty much made Spyro with Project Zomboid. Yeah, there you go. Nailed it.
Okay. Well, I've gone slightly different with mine, but it does tie into the original storyline a bit. But I want to slightly change the setting from the Raccoon City police station to the headquarters of the evil pharma company that is now led by Nasty Nork. which in my head is some kind of hospital research facility, and allows me to propose the title, which works in so many ways, of Resident Dragon.
Nice.
Okay.
Nice. Resident Dragon.
Very good.
I like that.
All right, I'll go. I'm gonna. Can you say something fiery? It's got to be dragon. So let's.
Ben's going to be awful at this too. It's creativity. Ben's not his strong.
I'm not the creative. All right, apocalyptic inferno.
Brilliant.
Yes.
Okay.
There we go.
Because it's an apocalyptic setting and Spyro breathes fire. Brilliant.
Yes, that's it.
Nailed it. That's it.
I'm terrified.
Like I nailed it.
Come on, Kirk, it's on you now. We need our final option.
All right. Well, this is so bad. So bad. So I've got Spyro, afraid to defend your short journey home.
Oh, that's fucking awful. You're the graphic designer. You're supposed to be like, oh, for fuck, that's worse than Ben's.
What even was the rambling sentence after Spyro?
It's so bad. I mean, it's called Spyro, for fuck's sake.
You've just ripped off, so we can't. That's even trademark. You can't use that.
You can't use it.
You can't call your game Spyro.
Right, so Kirk's out. Okay.
I don't know. Why do I turn up?
Honest. In which case, Kirk, you should probably vote for your next favourite. That would probably be the quickest way.
Do you know
Apocalyptic?
I like Project Spyroid.
Okay.
Yes, Kirk. And I didn't think you'd know like Project Zomboid, so I thought you wouldn't get the link.
Doesn't.
But
He doesn't.
I just like the sound of it.
Yeah, that's it. It's literally just on the sound of Spyroid.
Yeah.
Which,
Great
mean, also does tie into the pharmaceutical company, because we could assume that Spyro is on a lot of steroids.
steroids.
Very good.
So he's still really short, but he's now absolutely jacked.
Yeah, he doesn't actually have sparks around him. He's just imagining it.
Oh, so there we have it. Our first ever horrendous creation as a Frankenstein's monster of gaming is the story of Resident Evil 2 with the characters of Spyro the Dragon, with the world building and delivery of Death Stranding. So basically you don't learn anything till the end. And the gameplay of The Sims. And all of this is scored and viewed in a similar way to Dead Space. Which, I mean, at least we have got some kind of like.
There's some consistency
genre.
there.
There's a genre.
There's a theme going.
Which,
like
honestly, I wasn't sure we were going to end up with any kind of decisive genre, but we are definitely.
No, that was set up lovely by the story, really.
It was, yeah. It was very much put in place, and then the characters and the gameplay just had to come into this. And all of this would work so well if you weren't point and clicking your way round. Like.
You know when we're world famous in a couple months' time,
with Project Spyroid,
people are gonna make this game. You do realise that our fans are gonna make this game.
Yeah, but
and then they'll sue us for having talked about it.
As soon as people hear that name, they'll go, they know Grumpy Gamers. That's where that came from. Like that will be. Yeah.
Can we get
synonymous.
merch? Can we go? We've got Grumpy Gamer merch. But
should we make some
Project Spyroid?
Yeah, Project Spyroid. Kirk can do us an image. Kirk can do the design, and I'll get some t-shirts made.
Fantastic.
Project Spyroid. If you want a t-shirt, email in, and we'll see if we can get them done.
Beyond that,
if nobody emails in, we know this was a bad feature, and we won't do it again.
Terrible idea, especially with what we came up with. But I think most importantly, we should probably ask that. We should probably say that if anyone thinks they can come up with a better game from this combination, how would they let us know, Ben?
You can email us at podcast@grumpygamers.co.uk. You can tweet us at grumpygamerspod. You can watch our videos on YouTube and then comment on them. And that is Grumpy Gamers Podcast on YouTube.
Mm-hmm. But for this week, it is GG.
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 Oh, brilliant.